Hi friends, this is Jen with the Budget Bounce, and I am here today at FinCon in Washington, D.C. with my friend Marissa Lyda, also known as the Budgeting Wife. So I have asked Marissa to join me today, and I'm so excited to be here. What do you think?
Yeah, thanks for having me on your channel. It's super fun.
It is. Second year, so we were just talking about how it's not nearly as nerve-wracking as it was last year.
Yeah.
Which is where Marissa and I met the first time. I actually attended a blogging session and just introduced myself. So Marissa was new to me at that time, but your channel and your business has grown so much in the last year. So FinCon was definitely good for the Budgeting Wife.
Totally, yes.
Yeah.
I'm very thankful that I got to go last year and meet everyone again this year and see all the familiar faces.
Yeah,
so,
great. So today is the official start of the conference. Marissa and I just stepped away for a little bit so that we could be able to do this with you today. What I want to talk about really is, well, first of all, I've watched all of your channel pretty much since last year, and watched your whole journey about getting out of debt and your student loan debt, because that's where you and Jacob were when you guys got out of school. So what I want to talk to you about today is I'd like to hear a little bit from you about that journey.
Yeah, totally. So as Jen said, I'm married to my husband Jacob, and we've been married for 4 years, and we both decided to attend a private Christian school when we were going to college. And so we went to this university, which was awesome, but it definitely came with a large price tag.
Yeah.
And so I ended up graduating in 3 years instead of 4, which is maybe something that we'll talk about. But my husband also was in school for 4 years, and so between the two of us, when we had graduated college, we had over $80,000 of student loan debt.
Wowzers.
And it was crazy. And so we actually got married right when I had graduated school. I graduated, and we got married 2 months after that. And so it was we were beginning our marriage with basically $80,000 of student loan debt.
Right.
That was a lot.
Yeah, it was a lot. And that's a lot. You guys were young. You're in your early 20s.
Yeah.
And you've never even seen that kind of money before.
No.
Right? So, I mean, you've spent that kind of money clearly, but you didn't actually get to see it.
No, never. Yeah.
So, yeah. So that is absolutely, I mean, that is a lot. And a lot of the millennials are facing that today. So, in regard to the student loans, that's one of the things I really wanted to talk to you about today, because as a mom I have the last of the millennials and I have the first of the Gen Zs in my clan, and they are all facing this crushing student loan debt. Now, some of them were able to go to school and get grants and things like that. Some didn't go to the whole 4 years and that kind of thing. One of ours is going to be joining the military, so she's going to get assistance that way. But, you know, they're lucky that they are able to do that, but I'm also very concerned because they may not get all of it taken care of. And if anyone has been watching my channel for any amount of time, you guys know I and my husband have not made good decisions. And so we are in our mid-40s and are in no position to help our children with this because of the terrible decisions that we've been making for years and years and years. So what we can do at this point is we are trying to, in the last year and a half, we've changed our approach to money, and we are trying to set the example, especially for our youngest, who is in high school, a senior this year, and he's making money for the first time with his new job that he got this summer, but helping them to guide them to making good choices when it comes to how they're going to get their education, how they're going to pay for their education, all of those kinds of things. Given that you and Jacob attended a private Christian school, your debt could have been so much more than what it was. So can you talk a little bit about the things that you and or Jacob did or wish you had done to help alleviate some of this?
Yeah. So I think that going into school, I just really wanted to attend a private Christian university, so that's why I chose to go there. And I wasn't really thinking about that at the age of 17 when you decide to go to college. I wasn't thinking of the implications then. But it was when I was one semester into my freshman year, and I realized, oh my gosh, I'm taking on so much student loan debt. I didn't want to have that looming over my head. And so with that, I talked to my academic advisor and tried to figure out like what I could do to possibly graduate early. I came into college having like a semester's worth of college credits thanks to college level classes that I took in high school, which I got dual credit from, which is great.
Sure.
And so I tried to think of like, I was like, okay, how can I work this so that I can graduate a year early? Because then I can, you know, not have to pay for a year's worth of tuition. So we were able to come up with a plan, and I was able to take a few classes online through just a local community college that first summer after college. And so that was really helpful in me being able to graduate a year early, and I didn't have to pay that additional expense. Another thing that helped keep the cost down was becoming an RA, or a resident assistant, and so that's something that I did my senior year. And that came with a good scholarship. I think it was around like $7,000 for the year.
Great.
And so basically with that last year of college, I only had to take out like not even like the entire federal student loans that they allow you, you know, for a year. So I had to take out just very little loans that year. So actually, when you look at this, like I personally had $40,000, and most of that was from my freshman and sophomore year.
Oh wow.
The third year, I was really close to paying for it in full. But that was a really great scholarship opportunity, and I also really enjoyed the job, so it was like a win-win for that.
Great.
Another thing that was helpful was just being able to work, and I was going to school for accounting, and so the summer between my junior and senior year, I had like a real accounting internship job, and I was working full-time 40 hours a week.
Building your resume.
Yes, that was a great benefit, because it also set me up for having a job right outside of college.
Sure.
But that entire summer, I just worked all summer long. Like that's all I did.
And it was a paid internship?
Oh yes,
oh,
yes,
awesome.
for sure.
Awesome.
That's a great thing about like accounting internships. Most of the time they're paying for you, which is great. So I would work each summer and save up that money and put it towards my tuition in the fall. So I didn't work a lot like during the school year besides being a resident assistant, because that is kind of a big job. Yeah. But having those summer jobs was really useful, and finding ways to take those additional classes to graduate early was a huge benefit.
That's awesome. Yeah. That's awesome. So those are so many great ideas for those to try to avoid, maybe debt avoidance, right? So, and there's, you know, in case you haven't heard, there is a way to go to school without actually taking out loans. And it's not necessarily the traditional way that people are encouraging you to go. So if you are out here on YouTube anywhere, there are lots of people giving you ideas, and they're leading by example in how you can go to school without having to take out loans. But for those who have, okay, so they're either in the middle of it and they already have loans, or they are out of school and now they are faced with these crushing loans. You have put all of these ideas into one place and shared your wisdom and, you know, through your example on how they can tackle their student debt. So talk to us about that. Yeah,
so I have a YouTube channel as well, at The Budgeting Wife, where I share a lot of, you know, things related to budgeting, paying off debt. And I also have launched a course, and it's called the Freedom from Student Loans course, where I share all about how we are able to pay off our student loans. We paid off $87,000 because of interest in about 2.5 years. And so I share like all the methods that we did to be able to pay that off, and how to maybe still be able to enjoy life while you're going through this really difficult journey. And hopefully just an encouragement to people that like you can pay this off, and like here are some steps to help guide you in being able to become debt-free sooner.
Yeah, and Marissa's, in her videos, she does a lot about budgeting, and so I know that anybody who, I know as a young person, I don't want to hear anything about budgeting. Okay, so that's a mistake. You need to embrace a budget as something that will give you freedom, and Marissa talks a lot about that on her channel, and I talk about it as well, but she is walking you through, if you go back to her early videos, she's walking you through the last part of what was the last 2 years that you guys were working, or the last year and a half that you were working on getting out of debt?
Yeah, I think when I was doing YouTube,
yeah. So her videos have a lot of great examples. She's talking about how they're living their life, going through it, and it was not always easy. No. It is not easy. It's not easy to avoid them. It's not easy to pay them. So it's not going to be easy. If you want an education, you've got to work for it. That's really what it comes down to.
Yeah, totally.
All right, so this is awesome. Loving her course. Now, I've not taken this course because I am lucky enough that I don't have student loans at this point in my life, but For those of you that are interested in checking it out, I will leave a link in the description box below so that you can, she's got a great like a preview video that you can check out, and she tells you all about what she's going to go over while she's doing the course, and it's video and written, right? So you get a little bit of both.
Yep.
So you get 2 different mediums to learn from. So if you are somebody who's more about audio visual, that's what the video is for. If you like to read, there's some of that too. So I'll leave that link below for you. If you're interested, just click on that link and it'll take you right to it, and you can preview it, and then if you'd like to purchase it, you can sign up. Now, I know that you do more than just talking about getting out of student loans on The Budgeting Wife, and I know that you do other things besides the YouTube channel. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so like you said, I have my YouTube channel, and my biggest focus is budgeting tips for millennials, and that's what I share a lot on my YouTube channel, talking all about kind of what we're going through in our life, and like the budgeting lessons we learned along the way. Like my husband and I just bought a house, so I'm going to be sharing that kind of content for all of the millennials out there who are also trying to figure out the home buying process. But I also have an Instagram account that I love being on, so you can follow me at The Budgeting Wife if you want to check that out as well. So I love Instagram stories, and just being able to share how we are living our lives while still being on a budget, but accomplishing financial goals and having fun throughout it all.
Yes, and you have an Etsy shop as well,
I do.
And you have your blog. I mean, you have all kinds of things going on.
Oh my gosh, I have a lot going on. Yes, so my Etsy shop, I sell budget templates. So if you're trying to figure out how to start a zero-based budget, I have a shop with all of my Excel budget templates, because I am an accountant. I do love Excel, so I have my Excel spreadsheet, and that's what I use for my personal budget. I also have a blog, so I post on that too. So yeah, a lot of things going on, but I think the best place you can find me is on Instagram and YouTube.
Yep, so I agree. That is, your content there is great. I mean, I follow Marissa in both places. I mean,
thanks, Jen.
Yeah. And of course, after watching your story and then seeing, I love your Monday morning coffee. I love your coffee post. She gets Starbucks every Monday morning and shares that with us.
It's a sweet little side note. My grandma actually emailed me yesterday that she went to Starbucks and got herself a coffee, and so she sent me a picture of her with her Starbucks coffee, because that's what I do on my Instagram, is share my budgeted coffee.
And grandma's on Instagram?
She sure is.
So awesome.
Yeah.
I'm a grandma and I'm on Instagram, but I'm a grandma to a not even 2-year-old, so that's a little different than your grandma. Anyway, that's great. That is so great. So Marissa, thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate your time and sharing, because I am not able to provide the experience that you have. I was fortunate enough to not have student loans at all, and also I grew up in an entirely different time. I came out when the student loan industry was not what it is. The college university pricing wasn't what it is today, and so I was very blessed and that kind of thing. But my children, not so much. They're struggling. They're going to struggle just like you and Jacob did. So hoping that we can guide them and teach them and them and any other children, millennials, Gen Zs, whoever they might be, and of course the parents. Then there's all the things that we could be doing. So I just really appreciate your time and providing the resources, because I'm just not able to do that myself.
Well, thank you so much for having me on today.
You're very welcome. All right, guys, so we're going to get back to it. We have a lot on our schedules, so be watching on Instagram and YouTube. I'm sure you will be seeing a lot of posts, stories, and videos coming out about our FinCon experience this year.
Yeah, super fun.
So,
love it.
All right, guys, that's all I've got for you today. Until next time.
Bye.